You know, I usually start these videos with a clip or some audio that ultimately highlights the severity of the topic I'm about to cover. I do this because 1. Nothing draws people in like a little taste of the product you've created, and 2. It sets the tone and lets everyone know exactly how intense my video is going to be. But this time, I'm not going to do that because this is part 2 to the Isabella Janke video I made and released a few weeks ago. A part 2 was necessary in my mind due to the complex network and hive that is this story. It has elements, many working parts, and if I had chosen to cover everything, even going as far as reading out loud every single screenshot, which is probably what I should have done and will be doing for this video, but if I had, the runtime would have been more than substantial. There was already a plethora of dark and, for many, rather upsetting, unsettling content and information in part 1, as it was. But I digress. Part 2, this video, will spend the first half summarizing and sifting through a little bit of Bella, but mostly focus on her cronies, her chess club, and the second half will cover, to a degree, Gibi and Sean's actions and how they paid for said actions with pretty similar consequences to that of Bella. But before I do, just in case you didn't have the stomach for Isabella Janke, American Horror Story, or if you just missed it, let me re-summarize who she is. Isabella Loretta Janke was credited with initially exposing Chris Chan on the hashtag Mothergate scandal. After exposing herself as a panicky and very sus player in the game during an interview with Gibi Farms user Gungan, the farms began looking into her. She attempted to, with her cronies Alan and Louis, or Louise, because I mispronounced his name in the previous video, but she attempted to misdirect and sabotage the trail of which the farms were on. This made the entire situation far worse, and if anything, just simply exacerbated her fast becoming dire situation. In the end, she was exposed, doxxed, and found wanting. She was exposed for throwing her friends under the bus, and then a long laundry list of really crazy allegations made their way onto a summary thread. So just to give you a quick taste: manipulation of Chris Chan, stealing money from Chris, wanting exclusive control of Chris, and plan to film Chris and Fiona, a genuine fan of Chris and also autistic, doing the bad thing and then blackmail Chris so that they would shake off the mortal coil. Manipulation and bullying a friend, spiking a male friend with estrogen, bragged about bullying other students, going as far as taking credit for one or more committing seppuku, filming students without knowledge or consent, trolling animal cruelty, including boiling and eating a hamster, gore, terrible, shockingly bad hygiene, doxing, bizarre and hateful fixation on trans people. The list goes on, ladies and gents. It goes on. Now, of course, if you remember from the previous video, a lot of the things she had claimed to do were from her Discord server, which was archived. I do not recommend downloading it, however. It does contain CP, at the very least the drawn kind. I don't advise you doing so. I'll link part 1, go to the pinned comment. All the sources you could ever want or need are linked there, including everything we will talk about today. Now, the summary is over and done with, let's move on. Secondly, let's briefly retouch on Fiona. As I said, Fiona was actually the young autistic lady and genuine fan of Chris that ended up actually exposing them. This was because she had found out via Discord what Chris had been doing to their mother. Some people take issue with her, believe she's not an innocent party, that she deserves a full-on thread on the farms, that she deserves to be doxxed, etc. Many others disagree with this and believe Fiona to be the hero of the story. However, which way you see it, in the last video I had mentioned that she had either been submitted to or self-admitted to mental hospital due to mental stress of the entire situation. I actually cannot confirm this, as this seemed to be hearsay, but I do have 6 screenshots that suggested she was, so I'll just quickly read through those now. This is a conspiracy, but maybe ILJ manipulated Chris into saying he didn't want to F Fiona. She's so effing thirsty for Fiona, and so jealous of Chris having a fan that I feel like it's plausible. I wish Fiona a very speedy recovery and save time in the hospital. She didn't deserve any of this. For everyone confused about Fiona, read the effing OP. She has never posted here and is currently in a mental hospital according to her friend Grant, who told us all this. And her friend Grant goes by G202 on Gibi Farms. Per Grant, A, it really was Fiona, B, Fiona now has a flip phone. To fill in the blanks, and this is mostly my speculation, not particularly anything Grant has told me, but I suspect it went something like this. Fiona gets out of the hospital, accesses her smartphone. We all know that they are actually quite addictive, releasing those little dopamine hits and all, so this is no small temptation. Logs into Reddit and is in a bit of a haze through anxiety and everything else that has happened, so makes some confusing posts. And when she starts getting deluged with questions, it becomes overwhelming and she pieces out. That to me is very plausible. Maybe one day, if not exactly a laughing matter, all of this will just be some surreal episode to look back on. Anyway, good luck Fiona. May you never have to hear the name Christian Weston Chandler again. Please do not try to contact any of these people. Fiona is the person who leaked the conversation between Isabella and Chris Chan and is now in a mental hospital because she got doxxed in revenge. You do best to leave Fiona alone for her own well-being. Fiona's hospitalization comes from two sources, Grant and a comment made by Bella in one of the Discord logs. As far as quote-unquote hard proof goes, that's about it, and that's about as much hard proof as we have of many things. Yes, as everyone should remember, sources lie and people are out there talking with a lot of lying liars, and there is a lot to sift through. However, I don't personally believe there is much reason to suspect it is a lie. Grant has confirmed to one of us that Fiona's parents have removed her access to the internet and may be taken to inpatient psychiatric care. He is also unlikely to respond to further mentions here. Take that however you want. At the end of the day, the information I present in these videos, I do my utmost to verify them as best as I can. Unfortunately, sometimes speculation, and such speculation being included, is important to the story. Now we will revisit Fiona as she's important to the Gibi arc of this horror anime. So let's move on to the chess club. Okay, so as in the previous video I touched on, showing many screenshots and described the actions of Bella's friends, Alan, Louise, and Zorgoth. Alan and Louise, in particular, were shown to play a heavy part in Bella's misinformation campaign, and due to this, they were subsequently exposed for not only taking part in the chess club Discord degeneracy, but possessed knowledge of Bella's other behaviors and actions. Alan, in particular, had even been caught lying in his interview with a Kiwi Farms user, which shows the level of panic they were feeling. Well, anyway, the primary expose interview was that of Zorgoth. He had come forward being exceptionally candid with the farms, admitted his own previous wrongdoings at Texas Tech University, and how he ended up getting caught up in the storm. So I would first like to focus on his interview at specific parts, just to really drive home the gravity of Bella's actions. Afterwards, we will take a gander at the interview with Alan and have a look at the Louise thread, ending with Bella's glowy dad, Mike Janke, because of course he had to play a role in this. Could you tell me what your impressions of Bella were during the time you've known her? A quote of mine from the first server: "Before I met Bella, I'd say there's no way a girl would do that. But now that I know her, yeah, she totally did that. Lol. So, can you elaborate a bit?" Something like that. I believe she was doing the thing she said she'd done. I didn't hear about the lacing of drinks or anything like that, but I believed her when she said she'd pretend to help friends to fill them up, or the hamster thing. I know the dog is a big point in a lot of this, and I think she did get him rehomed, but I only skimmed the conversations about it. Yeah, we may never know, sadly. She said in one conversation that he was put down, and that Ryan would be so upset if he knew. And that's why I asked about the other Ryan in your video incident. And this is in response to Zorgoth saying but he believed her when she said she'd pretend to help friends fill them up. I don't think I'm familiar with what she said about this. Could you explain? There were multiple occasions where she talked about her female friends and helping them with like foot massages or their bra, and used to chant to smell them or fill them up. Gross. How do you think she was able to keep Lewis and Alan around as her close friends / conspirators, especially through things like killing and eating a hamster? Without trying to be mean, mostly to Lewis, I think they liked the attention. Alan wanted someone to talk to anime about, and Louise has about the same mindset as Bella, just less psychopathic. Like she would aim a firecracker at a person and he'd supply the lighter. From my time around them, it seemed Louise was much more a part of the conspiracies than Alan was. So figuratively, you're saying Louise enjoyed being her partner in crime, but wasn't a leader type. He went along with whatever her plans were. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Would you say Alan was more of a complicit bystander in her dealings? Like he'd be the one watching as the firecracker went off and clapping? Yeah, they trolled him a lot and made fun of him. I'm surprised he stayed as long as he did. He was also from a different country, so making friends might have been hard for him. He was still in contact with her as recently as 2 days ago, as far as I know. Kept coming back to her despite many friends warning him to stay away and cut ties, and lying to us to cover for her. If I had to describe our relationship, I'd say they were the darker side of tech that I kept around for gossip, but my main reasons for staying were memes, and because Louise was the first other Indonesian person I've met in a while. I also had some interest in Bella's Christian dealings, but I don't keep up with any of his lore. I just know he's an internet legend and wanted to hear about him from someone more close to him. What did she tell you about what she was doing with him, her dealings with him, etc.? She had gotten contact from someone close to him about making an animation for Chris's channel. After that, she was trying to convince him to change his Sonichu lore or something like that, pushing her own narrative. And she mentioned selling some info of his or something like that, but I don't think she ever went through with it. Do you remember anything about what the lore was she was trying to push? No, she posted a long list of screenshots of their chats together, but I didn't care enough to read them. We have some evidence that she may have stolen money from him. She claimed to have gotten his credit card details through Prater, a group that basically formed to sell Chris's merch to provide him some monthly royalties as income. Never heard anything about that. Did she tell you anything about her plans for going to the PonyCon thing in Seattle with him? Everfree Northwest? Maybe. I remember her talking about a hotel room for an event with him and that she'd meet him in person, but nothing after that. And this is when we get to talk about 4chan. This is a separate part of the interview. Oh, I do know Bella was an admin for a few 4chan threads and used them to collect CP for her own use and may have resold it to others. Oof, now that's a bombshell. I don't know much about it, but I think she talked about having a doc or note with links of the stuff in there. She said she'd somehow managed to convince everyone she was a middle-aged man. So when you say for her own use, you mean she's a P-word. Yeah, I thought that was common knowledge. She talks about wanting to touch little girls constantly. There was a lot of insinuation of that, yes, but it seems a lot of her molestation talk was in the first deleted chess club server, which we don't have logs for. I don't know if she ever acted on it, but she definitely made a lot of animations and talked about it. It's hard to believe that someone this messed up can exist. I'll let you go now. Thanks for answering my questions. Reach out if you think of anything else, or if you hear from Bella, Louise, or Alan, and I would definitely let you know when this gets posted with a link. Alright man, have a good night. Don't let too much of this haunt you. Trying not to. I appreciate it. Now we will sift through the interview with Alan. Just bearing in mind the way this is laid out and the way that it's placed does seem somewhat random, and he is also known to lie and does get caught out, as you'll see from the final screenshot that I'll share. Griffith is Alan. Hi, could you tell them I didn't troll anyone or part of any trolling group, please? Okay, first things first, what is the context of this picture? And I'm not judging, just wondering. Oh perfect, I want to get to this picture drama out of here. As you can see, the cake says Avery. Avery was a dick to all of our friends and was emotionally abusive to one of them. This was the cause of the picture. We just wanted to get him back for all that he did. This was not a cake towards a transgender, like some people say. Can you confirm the person standing next to you is Louise Hers? Yeah, should be obvious his picture is all over Kiwi Farms as of now. Just making sure. It would suck if we were mistaken. I only have good intentions here. Yeah, I understand. And the person beneath you is Isabella Janke? Yeah. How about the person in the bottom right? I don't want to say because she has nothing to do with anything. Wouldn't be fair. That's fine, I won't press you on that. Can you say the same for the person off camera, only showing their hand? Same deal, the person is not involved. There is a theory going around we're in a cult, which isn't true. Okay, thank you. The chess server was just a place to hang out, you know? Yeah, you're being honest with me so far, and that's a great help and speaks volumes for you. No problem, man, just want to prove my innocence. Is NP2348 Bella's Discord handle? Yeah, that has been proven. Is Simon918 also her Discord handle? Yeah. You once used the handle level 2 Nigerian woman respecter, right? my god. Jesus. Yeah, I did. Now, the screenshot in the middle of this screenshot is a discussion regarding the hamster issue. Explain. The kitchen was Louise's kitchen. They killed the hamster and ate it. You told me Bella didn't abuse animals, and that when she said things like this, she was being edgy. Now it comes out that this was true. The hamster thing is but the dog thing isn't. Sorry for not clarifying. Why the F would you think so? The woman literally ate a hamster, and you think killing a dog is beyond her? Are you being serious with me right now? I'm truly sorry. Please, I still don't believe the dog is dead. Were you present for it? The hamster? No, I wasn't. They just told me about it, and there was a video on the Discord. There was a video of her eating the hamster? F no. There is a screenshot of it boiling. That's it. I'm not sure I believe you weren't present, Griffith, because otherwise you wouldn't have any reason to believe she wasn't just being edgy again. I'll ask again. Were you there? Yes, I was, but I didn't do anything to the hamster or eat it. I'm sorry for lying. I know I should have done something, but I didn't. I feel horrible. Why did you just lie to me? I'm sorry, I don't know. Please forgive me. But this still stands. There are multiple situations she is just being edgy. You don't know this. You can't believe it because you don't want to. Sigh, you may be right. Again, I'm sorry for lying. That's the only time I've thought to call you out on lying, Alan. Do I need to review our previous messages and ask anything again? No, there isn't. The other time are correct. This was the only instance. I'd like you to take a moment just to kind of place yourself in the shoes of the people that sat down in a Discord server or a Discord DM and interviewed either Zorgoth or Alan. It's crazy stuff. It's insane. But, shall we continue? And then there was Bella's closest friend. You know, the chap she tried to spike with estrogen. Louise, co-owner of Goober the Cat, hashtag free Goober. General Simp and Human Shield, partner in crime, if you will, and he has some peculiar tastes in the fetish realm, I suppose, I guess. Yeah. Well, anyway, he is of Indonesian descent, and as we saw from the logs, he partakes in espousing some pretty hateful and edgy rhetoric. As per his thread on the farms, it was noted by multiple users that Louise seems to give off the impression that he's like one of those people that rails against homosexuals and promotes legislation against their rights, but would likely get caught with a male prostitute hanging out the back of him. He's very effeminate, obsessed, like Bella, with trans people, and possesses a great deal of what appears to be self-hatred. But as always, you guys decide. But Louise, however you pronounce this guy's name, he isn't the brightest. He's about as sharp as a spoon. Ternary Mercury, the username that he used on the farms, well, he also used that on Reddit, and so we have very edgy Reddit posts to sift through. Guy with sign near the sub says college students are going to hell for being pro-LGBTQIA and lots of other stuff. And there he is saying spitting facts. And here he is responding to a rando by being quite rude. This is from a post posted by Bella to Reddit, where she, well, puts up a collage and includes Goober being quite overweight. And someone responds, so funny, aha, fat cat dying of morbid obesity, aha, very funny, hi. Problem, libtard? This is Louise, I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name, Lewis, putting up a very edgy, badly drawn meme, asking people to rate his comic on Reddit. And there he is, he's obviously posted it for a reaction, and he got what he wanted. He's such an edgy boy. Here he is, asking to be roasted and saying thank you for being roasted there. And just like Bella, Lewis loves edge posting to 4chan. Here he is moaning to Pole about trans people. Here is Lewis complaining that a trans person gets more matches on a dating website than he does. WTF, how does Zach get as many matches per day that I get per month? Black pilled again. I get more, girls just don't reply ever. Who is Zach? Zoe, technically. Technically it's Zach. Zoe is their uncreative F name. I believe this is the Zoe who was interviewed by Comedy Girl. This is from the Discord Chess Club leak showing how much of a simp Louise is for Bella. Make this your profile picture. Why? That's not funny. Because you're my maid and I'm paying your rent. Can I do other things? You will do other things. Do this, or 600 a month, plus a security deposit of another 600 and 500 upon signing the lease. That's 1700 right now. Later, I broke my phone and can't touch the top of the phone, but you get your security deposit back. Yes, you can do it now, or pay rent. After a year. Now. So you want to pay rent, huh? Okay, fine by me. 1700, please. Now, I can't honestly say how serious this conversation is, but it does tie in to a few other screenshots there are on the farms. Louise, so are you definitely becoming my maid? Yeah, okay, well, buckle up. Pepe Frog meme. My maid requires a lot of work. I'll have to make rules and have a backup plan in case I get a new roommate sometime, like staying in Ryan's room or the couch. Won't both rooms be empty, or is the only one? One, I think. But the other roommate is never here. Ever. Just have both rooms open constantly and I can switch between either. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's 100% legit and was very difficult to actually read out loud. You have no idea how stupid I feel at the moment. Moving on, the following is a conversation between Alan and Lewis over Bella being exposed. Look, you have to somehow convince Bella that they caught her. You have seen the link. I urge you to dig through it. Don't tell her I told you this. Yeah, I went through it. They did catch her, but what happens after this point? And you too, damn. Are you guys in big trouble now, or will it blow over? I doubt we are in big trouble, and it's all hearsay. They're just mad that it was her that put Chris Chan behind bars, and think she had something to do with it. They find her artwork. You know, is it so difficult just to ask for some coherent English? Seriously. They find her artwork. The only accounts they have is the old Reddit. They're even saying that she put the thoughts of effing his mother. Like, are these people are? Yes, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is that somehow we get that thread taken down. How are you guys going to do that? Just report it? Don't know. Oh, that's a silly thing to assume, isn't it? As if you could ever get a Kiwi Farms thread taken down, silly sausage. And Louise is so much of an alpha Chad edgelord that, you know, what I'm just going to I'm going to read it. The Sigma lifestyle ain't for everybody, and you can read what's what is the iFunny. You can read the description of that iFunny video there for yourselves, guys. And of course, let's not forget that he was co-owner of the cat Goober and also partook in mistreating it by overfeeding, as shown in his own words. Keck. How fat is Goober? Don't know, but my friends say he's noticeably gotten fatter in the month he's been here. He likes eating cheese off pizza. I know. I always give him mine. Do they give him theirs? He's way fatter than Kit. Yes, his fat is noticeable when he lays down. I have a full beer belly now, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose it by the end of the summer when I go to Indonesia, since I don't eat much there. What's Goober's diet on a daily basis? Walk me through it. No, I do, it's just that serving portions are smaller now. Yikes. He eats a full bag of purple meow mix like once a week. Ha ha ha. He goes through a package of tuna a week. He poops so much. Oh, and this? Well, let me read this to you, ladies and gents. This is Lewis posting how he's looking for a 17-year-old girl from Northern GA with 2 younger siblings and hates her high school. I'm the 21-year-old male who used to live in Chicago but now goes to school in Texas. We talked for like 4 hours last night, with half of it being about how high school sucked. I never really got around to sharing contact information, and it would be really nice if we talked again. Well, looks like being Bella's partner in crime and Bezzy Winger and all-round simp didn't pay off, did it? He's one to keep an eye on for the future, I feel. So we have touched on the actions of the chess club. We've painted a picture worth 1,000+ pages on the farms. But there is the matter of the glowy dad, Mike, to address. So I did briefly mention Mike in part 1, and I did say that it had been suspected that not only was he the one with the so-called legal letter issued to Kiwi Farms to take down the thread on Bella, but he apparently had been leaving comments on YouTube videos that had been initially covering Isabella. This is the video I was referencing in part 1.
To it, but Mark, I'll leave you with this. Whoever that was that left that comment, that was really weird. Like, why would you defend somebody like this? People who defend Chris are weird, but people who defend this girl are a lot weirder. Yesterday, I saw a lot of comments of people telling me that, you know, this girl does have a lot more shit on her than I initially said in my first video, and you guys are all right in the comments. This girl probably is worse than Chris, so I'll take that back from the other video. So Mark L, if you are her father, Your daughter's a piece of shit, brother.
Now, I know there was speculation on Mike possibly being a donor to Texas Tech, hence their apparent reluctance to take action against her and her buddies. I did try to gather any information regarding this, but was unable to find anything, so I cannot in good faith make that statement. However, I imagine the students in particular, whose interviews we watched in the previous video, would not be surprised by that if it turned out to be the case. All this said, however, I do find Mike particularly strange. Not his personality, not that he was likely to have been involved to a degree in the Gibi Farm's constant DDoSing attacks. Yes, they started before the Bella story broke out, but he is also suspect in taking part. But what gets me most about him, most of all, is that he is very much legit. SEAL Team 4, SEAL Team 6, very wealthy, legitimate businessman in the world of cybersecurity. He lives in a $2 million mansion and yet produced Bella. Perhaps the theory that Bella, being a rich, privileged girl, most likely being ignored by the parents, add in some mummy/daddy issues and a splash of the tism, and you get Bella. But I'm not here to speculate. But let's move on to the second half of this video before a glowing outline of a man breaks through my door and strings me up, shall we? In part 1, Isabella Janke American Horror Story, I opted to heavily criticize Gibi and Sean. As I've repeated ad nauseum at this point, these videos, these documentaries I make, I try to not insert my opinions into them. I'm not a commentary guy anymore, I'm not a call-out channel. But his actions annoyed me enough to warrant such a response. I won't be doing that this time. Instead, let's quickly re-summarize his role in all this and take a gander at the consequences of his actions. As we know, YouTuber and Christorian Gibi was the one who got very precious about others speaking about quote-unquote his locale, complaining that Ethan Ralph had gotten the scoop on Chris Chan's arrest. But not just that, along with Sean, aka Wildcat, he took Isabella Janke's spoon-fed lies that Sean had repeated to him. He completely failed to do his research, thinking he knew best, thinking that it was a good idea to call the farm's investigative work into question along the way, doubling down and subsequently doxing Fiona, despite the farm's warning him about spreading misinformation. Since the drama has died down, he has been doxed and had his closet opened with skeletons aplenty found inside. But before we get into that, let's read some of these tweets. Thread, my video from last night was originally taken down for revealing private information. I've decided not to put it back up. Gibi Farms has been investigating this for several days, and some of our sources are contradictory. I have also been criticized for spreading unverified claims. However, I will stand by my opinion that sharing what one party believes is itself newsworthy, and that I always had a disclaimer that it wasn't to be treated as fact. If anyone has information, please come forward. I would recommend going to the farms and getting verified, as they don't trust my anonymous sources, and they were right to do so. As a side note, I knew that you could monetize on Twitter, but I had never seen the icon for it. Guys, can you pay me for my illuminating tweets, please? And thank you. Anyway, here is Gibi throwing shade at the farms. It's the same with the idea, guys. They needed to be stopped. I just wish the investigation had been done privately and not revealed until it was done, because it spread a lot of misinformation. Like the first day, they were going after Fiona hard. The farms never hammered Fiona at all, by the way, so this is a lie. He also lied in his video on the situation that Null had included Bella as a wrangler, lied about running information past the farms, and lied about speaking to anyone fulfilling the lead investigator role in the thread. Oh, and on his second attempt at posting the initial video, he forgot to blur out Fiona's personal contact details. Now, the following screenshots, which I'm not going to read, you can pause the video or follow the sources I link in the pinned comment, are interactions between Gibi and Farms users after posting his initial video. Here, they are trying to tell him that his information is incorrect and trying to squeeze basic info out of him, but Gibi doubles down a lot in these screenshots, as you'll see, and was quite resistant to giving away all. And just to reinforce and prove through the Discord leaks that Bella was using Gibi, let's read Louise's and Bella talking about Gibi is weak. I should have known better. My bad. No, it's cool. At least he made a video that will help, probably. He told me he would release a video this morning. I wonder what happened. He did. It was the extended one. What a joke. It was the 21-minute long video. I don't trust that guy we just talked to. He's a sleazeball. He took down all your info, and all the info he took down of mine was incorrect. He found my last name through one of my friend's Instagram posts. Every docs he has is wrong, lol. Did he post your number? And it's obvious that he's power tripping in that thread. No, he didn't. Isn't it weird that people in that thread hail him as a god? As you can imagine, this isn't a good look for Gibi, but as I previously mentioned, the farms started looking into his personal business. And although I did include a screenshot of the list of things in part 1, I'd like to briefly sift through some of these. Firstly, Gibi, like most content creators, has a Discord. But his Discord is really weird. Everyone's names are assigned with the word redact and given a number. Redact 37 is Gibi. This is his general attitude towards the situation, speaking to his subscribers. Thanks guys, no problem. No problem, man. I can see the situation being stressful. You're literally getting roped in with Bella. Has to be scary. Yeah, but they're just rumors. But you have others who know the truth. You already apologized. I'm in this really weird place because obviously I feel extremely guilty for what I did to Fiona. But I also have to tell myself to ignore the rest of the criticism because I know it's BS. And those two things are opposite. Telling myself I messed up and I did nothing wrong about two different things at the same time is rough. Now, the farms found that there were underage users in Gibi's Discord. Now, this is something that is difficult to deal with. It is difficult to verify people's ages without straight up asking for doxes. But as a creator, if you are aware of this, then you should probably not have anything to do that is not suitable for work in your Discord. There appears to be bullying on the server, as you can see here on screen right now. And also, Gibi appears to be aware of this as he addresses here. Why do people feel the need to come and tell me when they're rage quitting the server? It's always the same kind of thing. I'm being bullied on your server and people are saying mean words and jokes, and your mods aren't immediately stopping them. I hope you don't agree with what they say. I don't feel safe here, so I'm leaving. Think about what I said. The internet is rated R and the real world is full of jerks. If you join a mostly Christian related server and you don't expect it to be offensive, you probably shouldn't be on the internet. I fully understand why these people are upset. I just don't understand why they're upset to the degree that they get. It's kind of hard to get cyberbullied on an anonymous Discord account where you can mute and block anyone who annoys you, but apparently they feel quote unquote unsafe. And again, this has happened multiple times since my server has been active. So if you think the server could be run better, let me know. But if you're leaving and you're some dramatic twat who just wants to get the last word in and complain about being victimized, kindly don't. This has been Gibi's thought of the day. Running a Discord server can at times be quite stressful, believe me, I know, enforcing rules, resolving arguments and so on. But if you own one and it has minors in particular as members, might be an idea just to stay on top of that and not generally have that kind of attitude, just FYI. Also, apparently Gibi doxed a member of his own server. Possible shady dealings within his server as this user claims to have donated to Gibi to ban someone, although I'd take that with a grain of salt personally. Also, there is a lot of not suitable for work stuff in there that I just cannot show in this video. Again, sources linked below to the farms thread. I mean, it's very clear that Gibi isn't bothered about what's said and shared around minors in his Discord through this conversation wherein a user questions Gibi about the content within his server. It's not a good look. Did you know your mod was speaking like this? Yep, that's how he always speaks, even with minors present. Since he was a minor, yes, ever since he was a minor. Sorry, I didn't mean to imply that he was a minor when he posted that. It's fine, thank you for clarifying that. And you don't see anything wrong with him speaking like that with people as young as 13 in the server? Not even a little. Are you aware of people talking like this with minors? It seems prawn was a regular topic here. Aware of those posts? No, nor do I care. Any prawn posted, like in the first image, would be erased. The second one isn't bad probably. What's this? Me making a joke riffing on an old Tumblr post about saying harder when being bullied in school. What about the gay shota that wasn't deleted? If such thing exists and slipped through the mods, then that's just how it is. I'm not going to hold myself to a higher standard than Twitter and YouTube. We take our jobs very seriously but can't be perfect. What about people from your server telling minors to look up porn? Do you see this as grooming behavior? There is more of Gibi repeating several of the aforementioned behaviors, lying to his audience, doubling down and so on, but I feel like I've made my point. Now, we should take what little enthusiasm we have left for this entire story and finish off with Sean. You know, the guy who looks like my Down syndrome love child. Yeah, him. Let's go. Okay, so this is Sean Walker, aka Psychic Espion on the Farms, aka Wildcat. He is the one responsible for distributing the fake BDSM texts, colluding with Bella, feeding Gibi false information, and so on. This dude could get his own documentary made with the long list of awful cringy information there is. I mean, he's a furry, because of course he is. Loves role-playing as Randy Stair to Chris Chan, is associated with groups that love to troll Chris. He is a Christorian himself, has a huge amount of sock accounts across the internet. He has links to the Watchman and Praetor, both are groups of people who either play into Chris's delusions or troll him. Both once battled for Chris's attention. Well, anyway, Sean here worked with Bella to feed misinformation not only to Gibi, but to the farms as well. I won't go too deep here, but let's go through some of the examples. Firstly, this is a conversation between Sean and Bella, with Sean taking everything at face value. There's a lot I want to leak, but I can't trust Fiona. Chris is talking with me right now. What's he saying? And Sean to Chris Chan. Josh is right, Chris. You trust anybody that's a woman way too much. Chris Chan. Say no more. Her story is not credulous. And correction, I do not trust some women. Aunt Harriet and Uncle Tom's response to my plight was most disappointing. Back to Bella. Whose story, mine or Fiona? Fiona is the one who leaked 99% of things. I wanted to send it to the authorities, but she posted it on Reddit and YouTube when I told her not to. Incredulous, I know. And there's the fake BDSM texts. WTF. This is the S I woke up to in the morning after the call. She tied up her feet? Go ahead, release it if you want, because it includes penetration, which will help justify he's a dude. Bella. Why is he like this? There you have it. Don't say the texts are from me, but post it. And there, Sean posts the BDSM texts to Kiwi Farms. Bella. Thanks. They want to know if you're credible, Bella. People think it's fake. Oh, how do I prove? Fiona has it too. I'm gonna have to name people. Fiona, sure. Lamau, you guys really don't know who Fiona is? She's in the Discord. She's the one with the pony avatar. Yeah, I thought you didn't know. We text and call like every day. She leaked most, but she wanted to have S with him so badly, so now I don't know if she wants him to go to jail. There are two things that you can see from this screenshot right here. First of all, this is when we realize that Sean knew who Fiona was, and secondly, you can see that 10 Anon there. You can see that kind of proves that's Bella. And also in this screenshot, you can also see Ternary Mercury, aka Louise, running his misinformation campaign to the farms, or at least attempting to. And again, there is a lot more in this conversation, but it's just Bella lying and being edgy in front of Sean to show off, whilst also lying to the farms. It includes Bella complaining about the call to Gungan, and Sean eventually advising Bella to lay low, and then he boots her to keep her safe. This is Sean trying to cover his backside and claiming that it was he who turned the farms against Bella. This is a lie, of course. Yes, at least regarding those people. Why do you guys go to Reddit and Kiwi Farms? Shouldn't you have gone to the police first? I should clarify, I wasn't a part of that group. I leaked the conversations that I had with Bella because people were skeptical. My bad. I turned the Kiwis against her when I realized she was a troublemaker. Yet the farms saw immediately through this. Also, here is proof that Connor, aka Sean, and Gibi know each other too. This needed to be said as Gibi tried to play off that he actually didn't know Sean. Now, Sean has effectively ran away from the internet, deleting all of his socials. He is, or rather was, incredibly manipulative. I mean, he was LARPing as Randy Stair towards Chris, a dangerous notion in of itself, and working alongside Bella. I'm not entirely sure how nefarious and insidious he actually is, whether he understands the gravity of his actions or not, But either way, if he surfaces again, I'm sure he will be exposed. This screenshot sums up the kind of character he is, and believe me, I'm not joking when I say I could make at least a 1-hour documentary on him. The list and history with this young man is extensive. But, ladies and gents, I do recommend following the sources to Gibi Farms linked in the pinned comment to read up all the intricate insanity, as I haven't included everything, and believe me, there is a lot. If you have the stomach and constitution, that is, of course. There is some spice in there. So, what did we learn? Bella, her cronies, and those associated to her, as well as the very concept of creating content that surrounds very serious stories like this. Well, it's just not worth it in the end, is it? We all make mistakes. I'm not perfect by any measure, but perhaps exercising a bit of skepticism and just basic morality would go a long way, really. But once again, thank you to all who have watched this video, especially if you got this far into it. Thank you to Gibi Farms for their incredible work on anything Bella associated. Thank you to my patrons and channel members for the support, and thank you for watching. Have a great day, everyone. Peace.